Okay, we just discussed the basic theory part related to this, and also we have just discussed about how these things happening. For an example, so what are the things like the bandwidth? Bandwidth is basically measured in that is measured as the gap between the lower and upper frequency. So what is the highest frequency and what is the lowest frequency in between that? So what is the in between thing that is measured as the bandwidth of the particular channel? Actually, data bandwidth is the amount transfer rate. So there is another one called data bandwidth, that is basically the data transfer rate. How many kilobits per second, how many megabits per second? This simple B represent bit per second. Sometimes this can be there as MBPS, mean megabyte per second. So this is measured for storage devices. Networking channels, this simple B is used, but this is MB or KB, capital B, is used for storage devices, right? Then we learn about the noise, and noise is something present in the channel, so that is unwanted signal. Here in the you can see the data, original data transmitted here, that is 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. Likewise, this is the original data. But what will happen with the noise? The signal will be distorted, or the signal shape will be changed. So see here, so this data line, this data signal is there. With the noise, the signal will change. So it will be read as 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. Here another new one is added because of the noise, and this noise also it has added the new bit. It had altered the bit. So the original data transmitted can be changed from the received. So the data received is not the same as the transmitted data. So noise is actually affecting that. But the thing is, sometimes noise is there. The noise is not much affecting the data transmit. So anyway, you cannot 100% ignore noise. So unless there is a special setup, it's very difficult to ignore noise. So there is an amount of noise, but the thing is that if it is not affecting the data, we can just ignore that, and we can't actually stop the noise. We can't stop the noise easily unless we have set up special that is a very special environment, but that will be very, very costly. Therefore, we accept amount of some noise. We will accept amount of some noise. So that noise is not changing the data, that is not much affecting it. So that kind of noise will be considered. Anyway, we are using checksums, right? Checksums and cyclic redundancy checks. Checksum means you are adding the value and checking whether that sum is matching with the bits. For example, let's say, let's get the sum of this. How many ones are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ones are there. If you calculate that here, how many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones are again there. So this, if you take sum of that, that will also not detect this error. So therefore, we have different methods like parity checking, odd parity, even parity checking, and so let's learn about them as well. And before that, actually, so let's focus more about your mathematics part related to the IP addressing. But before that, let's go through this as well. So this is very small section, right? After finishing that, I'll move to the maths. Then attenuation, I said, when the signal moves away from the source, so the signal strength will be lower. That is called attenuate. We have learned that as well. Distortion is basically, it can even be a clipping. Clipping means when you increase the signal, because of the boost in, some amount of signal can be dropped. So it can, so when you lower it, it can be dropped. When you make it higher, it can be dropped. This is also a problem. This is called distortion. The original signal, input signal, can be damaged, distorted. Distortion can be happen due to the noise also, by mixing the signal. Because of that also, distortion can happen. And it can happen even during the like boosting, or if you amplify the signal, a distortion can happen. Or if you mix that with another signal, the distortion can happen. Distortion is actually damaging the original wave format of the signal. Okay, have we discussed about the Manchester encoding?
No, sir.
No, right. Manchester encoding is basically a way of representing a signal. So there are two ways of encoding. So let's see this method. So one is denoted by raising. This is a raising edge. Raising edge is showing 1. Then here falling edge. Falling edge is showing 0. This is raising, moving up. This is moving down. Let's say 1 is displayed here and 0 is. And then how can you represent this signal? So this kind of examination question can be there in the question paper. This is called Manchester encoding or signal representation. 1 is raising. You can say this is 1. It's going up. Then 0 is represented by the lowering part. So you can say the 0 is this lowering, right? 1 is moving up, then 0, and after that again 0. Again you have to lower. So let me draw this. Otherwise, you might confuse. Okay, 1 is moving up, right? 1 is moving up. Then you have 0 is moving down. 1, 2, 3. 0 is moving down. Again, you will get 0 is moving down. Moving down means you have to write 1, 2. This is moving down. Actually, you can connect this two. That is why you can see this kind of signal. This is 0. Again, 1 is moving up. 1. Then 0 is moving down. Then again 0. Again 0 means here again 0. Again 0 means again moving down. You can connect both. Then again 1 is moving up. And then 0 is moving down. Is there any doubt?
So I can't hear you, sir.
Now itself. Can't you hear me?
I can, sir.
I think something going on with your signal. Check it. So did you understand how this signal is generated?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if not, tell me, right? Okay, next what? After this, next one. I'm here now. Okay, I'm here. 1 0 0. This is 1 0 0. Then again 1 0 0. Again 1. Then 0. Then what? I have done up to here. The next is 0. How to represent 0?
So downwards.
Downwards. Downwards means I have to draw something like this. Okay. So if you get examination question, Manchester encoding, can you do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the next is 1. 1 is
Upwards, sir.
upwards. 1, 2, 3. Then again 1. That is upwards. Again you have to draw 1, 2, 3. You have to finally link, right? Again upward. Another 1. 1, 2, 3. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Then you have to join, link this. Okay, the problem is when a signal given, can you convert that to like sometimes in the examination they will give the signal and they will ask, okay, what is the digital representation of this Manchester signal? The reverse. That can even be asked. Okay, I'll show you one thing. I'll show you one thing. Okay, what is this signal? Can you read it?
So 1.
Okay, it's moving up. 1.
1.
Again, it's moving up. 1.
1.
Again, it's moving up. 1. Okay.
0.
Yes. Actually, it should be 0. Then
1.
again moving up 1. Moving up, yes, 1. Then
1.
again 1. After that, again 1, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
1, 1, and 1. So this is the signal. 1, 1, 1, 0. Then 1, 1, 1. Okay, this is the signal. So this kind of question can be there in the examination. Okay, this is known as Manchester encoding, right? So if you need, take a screenshot. Just understand how this happens. Let's move to the next part now. It's easy. Okay, this is also theory part. Type of the network based on the size and distribution. I think we discussed this. PAN is the smallest network. It is personal area. Something similar to your computer is connected to your mobile phone, or you can connect 2 mobile phones using Bluetooth. Connecting laptop to a desktop using a wire, or you connecting 2 laptops using a wire. That is called personal area network. Or sometimes it even called desktop area network, because you can keep that in on top of a desktop area network. But officially, the LAN is called, the normally official way is LAN is called a network within a single geographical area. If it is within a room, like school lab, if it is within a building, like you can say office. So those networks are called local area networks. Those are local within a single geographical area. But if it is within a city, within a village, it's spread to some wider area, but not that much wider. So it is basically a same climate area, a single geographical area, but bit larger. We call it metropolitan, MAN. The WAN is wide area. It's covered in different geographical areas. For example, think that there's a network connecting Kandy, Colombo, and Gampaha, which is a wide area network because it's connect different geographical areas. Then, so another term is CAN. In this BIT, Bachelor of Information Technology degree from Colombo University, CAN is mentioned as Campus Area Network. But there is another name. If you browse internet, you can see there's something called Controller Area Network. So that is basically for a certain controlling area, like a car, within a car, network within a car, you can say there's a control area network. Network within a ship, that is also a single control area. Controller area. Network within a train, network within a flight, you can say controller area network. And another term is campus area network, that is network within a campus. SOHO, these are also famous type of networks. Some people maintain small office in their home, or shop and, so basically shop and home. Right, in this is again common in Sri Lanka also. So they have a shop inside home, or home inside shop, something like that. So in that case, they can link both together using a SOHO network. And very special thing, even though you are in a different geographical areas, it is possible to you to have a private network over the existing public network or the internet. That is called virtual private network. That means you can connect to this VPN, virtual private network. So let's say, okay, this is very useful when the internet restrictions are there. Think about this example. I hope you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So think about this example. Let's say Facebook is banned by government for some time, and you need to access Facebook. One solution that people are doing is they are putting VPN. Have you done that or not?
No, sir.
No. Okay. When, right, that can happen, right? That can happen because, like, so have we experienced that some of these websites the government has like banned for some time? They are doing this, especially that in that you know, this Easter attack. This has happened. They have banned social media temporarily. Can you remember?
Yes, sir.
Right, okay. These temporary bans can be there. Social media temporary ban. These things can be there. When such temporary ban happen, so one way to connect these websites is using VPN, virtual private networks. How they do this? How to connect using a VPN, virtual private network? Actually, something like this. Okay, let's see. This is internet. For an example, just think this is internet. And let's say this is Facebook. Just marking the Facebook server somewhere here. And this is you. Let's make your color red. And then your government or the official link. So actually, you try to connect to Facebook, and your government has blocked, or maybe your company has blocked that. The request to Facebook is blocked, but still you can access internet, right? Still internet connection is there. So what you're going to do, you will establish a private network, a virtual private network. Let's say there's a VPN server, virtual private network server, or just think as a computer. This is your virtual private network computer. Still internet is not fully banned. So when you try to access your VPN, when you try to access the VPN, it is allowed. This is allowed. This is not blocked. Also, the traffic is not visible to the government because this is encrypted. This is private. This private traffic is not visible to the government, so you can do anything using this private because it's not monitored, because this channel is encrypted. This is secured. Okay, what you do? You will ask from your VPN server, hey, I need to connect to the Facebook. Just send in a VPN server a request. No one can see that. I need to connect to Facebook. The VPN server will connect Facebook and give the result back to you, back to the VPN server. From the VPN server, the results come back to us. Now, actually, the government has officially banned, or your company has officially banned Facebook, but unofficially, you can access Facebook through VPN. Understood how this happened? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Right. But the thing is that, can we actually trust this VPN server?
No, sir.
Can we trust? Because we don't know where is this VPN server. If this is your own server, you can trust. If this is your own VPN server, you can trust it. But if this is your own VPN server, you can trust it. But the thing is, if this is some free VPN service or just hired VPN, you don't know where's the location. So it is not good to do the bank transactions and to especially send the personal information. For these things, it is not good, right? I think you can understand the risk there, because we don't know what kind of server this is. Sometimes some hackers are interested in getting information from this. Sometimes, but if you establish your own version of VPN server, you can do that, right? You can rent a server, a cloud server basically. So there are a number of providers providing cloud applications. You can hire a server from them and then you can use it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Let's move to the next part. I hope that I have already explained this part, right? IP address
Yes, sir.
version. Did I or not?
So we have done that, sir.
Yes, we have done that. So then we have done this part also, right? How many unique IP addresses?
Yes, sir.
Okay. IP version 6?
Yes, sir.
That also we have done, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the IP, like IP config command to find the IP address. No.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is also done. So we have done. So then, yes, this question also I think I explained, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just discuss the solutions too. Okay, this is upright. So when these computers are, so we have to find like when a question like this given, we need to find out the network IP. How do we find the network IP? We have to AND, and we have to AND this IP, given IP. IP is basically a 32-bit 4-portion dotted binary number represented in decimal. We just discussed that last day. We have to AND the subnet mask with this to find the network IP. So when you find the network IP, you can see the network IP for this one is 192.168.0.0 is the network IP. And for this one, again, 192.168.0.0, sorry, 1.0. Here, 192.168.2.0, 192.168.1.0. Those are the because 255.255.255.0 is there. Then this is how you find the network IP and the broadcast IP. Broadcast IP is the last IP. Actually, broadcast IP is used to send message to all the computers in the network. Broadcasting means sending message to everyone. Send message to all the computers. We use broadcast IP, right? Then the network IP is the identifier to which network this belongs. So you can see this B and C are, so these are in two networks because network IP for this one 2.0, this is 1.0. Then you cannot actually connect them together. But this one and this one, if you make like all are 1.5, 1.6, 1.93, all are in the same network, so we can connect. Solution 2 is basically you can change the subnet mask. When you change the subnet mask to 255.255.0.0, what will happen? You will AND with this and this. Then this will become 192. This and this, when you AND it, you will get 168. This and this, when you AND with 0, you will get 0. When you AND with 0, you will get 0. So the network will be this. And this network will be same for all three. So you can connect them. That is the second solution that we have discussed. When you AND in, you have to get the binary like this and individual bits. 1 and 1 is 1. 1 and 1 is 1. 0 and 1 is 0. 0 and 1, 0. All these are zeros. 1 and 1, 1. 0 and 1, 0. 1 and 1, 1. Likewise, you have to find this. So we just discuss this part. And the third solution is using a router. Because these two are in one network, and you can use a switch and route to the next network. This router can connect between multiple networks. So it will allow you to route. So this is the third solution. Okay, then class-based IP addressing. How this class A, class B, class C works. So let me explain this. First of all, can you write the table of classes in your book? Table of IP classes, right? Table of IP classes, or table of classes related to IP addresses. Can you just write down this? I'll explain after you. 1 to 126 is like this is the first octet, right? Value of the first octet. So that is 1 to 126. So basically that this is the network ID, W is the network ID, and the remaining is for the host. The remaining 3 octets are allocated for host. How this happen? So you can't start from 0, no. That is normally you cannot start from 0, therefore you are starting from 1. Right? This portion is dedicated for the hosts, sorry, networks. Then you can change this, the other I'll mark this as x.x.x. So that is basically you can assign that to the computers in the particular network. That is the starting value. The ending value is 126. If you put 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 all ones, the total will be 256. You are not going to do that. You are going to reserve the first two digits. So you keep like this. Okay, this will be 1 0. Then if you add them together, this part, right? How this 126 come, that's what I'm going to explain now. So let's write 126. 126 is the last value that you can operate. So 126 you can write like 0. Then sorry, here I have done a mistake. This is 0, all 0, but 1 here, right? 1 here. So 1 not in the corner. All 0, 1 here. So 1, if y1 is in the beginning, that is not 126. That is 1 to 8. 1 will be here, right? Then 0 is again reserved. You are not going to change the 0. This initial 0, you are not going to change it. You keep that as it is. Then you have to make all these things false. But the thing is, you are not going to use the last one also, because there is a special reason for not using that. So the last, if you put all ones, the value will become 127. Actually, 127 is reserved for the local networks or local host. That means if you go to your terminal, so is it possible to you to share the screen? Hello?
So I'm on my mobile phone, sir.
Oh, yeah, in my mobile phone. Okay. So then let's use my computer. I'm going to terminal, but you can do this using your computer too. Try to join with the computer, then we can do more. You can practically experiment on these things. Anyway, let me open the terminal and show this to you. Okay, if I type PING 127.0.0.1, that is basically replying me. That is a valid IP. Actually, where is this IP? Where is this computer? So if I PING to localhost, so you can see it is this 127.0.0.1. That is called the loopback IP. Loopback IP means how you can call yourself. Basically, I can call myself as me. No, me, my, me. Me is a name that anyone can use for themselves. Similar to that, 127.0.0.1 is the IP that you can assign to you. That is called loopback IP. So this 127 IP range is for the loopback IP. It is reserved for loopback. So that's why you are not going to use it anywhere. So if you use 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, X, X, X. So this is for the host. This is reserved for loopback. Reserved for loopback. Example, local host means you call yourself. That is why you are not using this. This is not in this one, the first class A range. Class A range, what you need to make static, the first, this one you can't change this one. When you are changing the network, you have to keep this bit reserved. You are not going to change this bit. This bit is preserved. You can change all other bits except the last bit, because if you change the last bit, it will become 127. Because add these numbers, then you can find 1 plus, here you have 1. Then after that, you have 2's, then you 4's, then 8's, then 16's, then 32's, then 64's. Okay, let's put the arrows. Can you add the numbers? 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 7, 7 plus 8 is 15, 15 plus 16 is 31, 31 plus 32 is 63, 63 plus 64 is 128. Sorry, 127, 63 plus 64, 127. So 127 is for loopback. So here one missing means this is 126. Okay, understood this?
Yes, sir.
So can you write down this part also? This is
Okay.
reserved for the loopback IP, except that IP, the other range. So this is reserved for the loopback IP. You can spare this. You have to make this blue color things don't change. Right here, do not change. Do not change. That is the rule for class A. Do not change the first 0. And these sets, this XXX, these things are there for, this XXX thing is basically the hosts. These are reserved for the hosts. And this portion is reserved for the network. I'll put some other color. This portion is reserved for the networks. Okay, just write down this part. Right. Please remember this pattern. This is then it is easy to find out the other set, right? So please remember this pattern very well because it's easy to figure out the other set. Otherwise, in the examination, you need to remember this. Actually, how many networks are there? How to find the number of networks? So there are 1, 2, 6 networks. That is anyway countable. But you can see, okay, let's say there are 2 bits. If there are 2 bits, so how many combinations? We learned this in the number systems.
So 2 to the power 2.
2 to the power 2. Those are, you can say 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So if there are 3 bits, so then there will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1, 1. There will be 8. Okay, how many bits here reserved for the networks? How many bits reserved for the networks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bits are reserved for the networks. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. Then how many combinations? If there are 7 bits, how many combinations?
2 to the power 7.
2 to the power 7. Then what is the number? 2 to the power 7 is equal to 100 and yes.
So 128.
128. 128. But the problem is you are not taking this one because it is loop back no. Therefore, altogether there will be so 128, but you are not taking the last one. 127 is not used. 127 is this one that is not used. I'm cutting down. And 0, can we start with 0? Here there is 0. There's 0. But can we start with 0 dot some network? No, we can't start with 0. 0 can be placed in the middle, but can't start with 0. So 0 is also excluded. Then how many networks really? That is 128 minus 2, right?
2.
So how this 2 came? You have to explain this, right? How this 2 came? Because 0 is not in use. 127 is not in use. Therefore, 126 networks are there practically. 126 networks are. That is how this figure came. Because they don't ask this like you to buy hard this and. But if they ask to explain why there are 126, because there are 7 bits. 7 bits means there should be 128 networks, but actually 126 networks. So what's the reason? Because the 0 you can't use. 127 is used for loop back or the local host related things. The loop back. Therefore, you cannot use the first and last. Therefore, the number is 126. That is how this figure came. Then how this figure came? How many bits reserved for the hosts? How many bits reserved for the host? Yes, how many bits are reserved for the host? Count and tell me. How many bits? Here, 7 reserved for the 7 bits reserved for the networks. Then how many for the host? All remaining are for the host. Then how many? Count it and tell me.
So 24.
24. 8 plus 8 plus 8. It is 24. If there are 24, yes, 24 bits reserved for the, so this is what you need to understand, right? Reserved for the hosts. Okay, 24 bits reserved for the host. Then how many combination, with the combination, how many will be there? 2 to the power. Therefore, there will be 2 to the power
24.
24. What is the number? 20 to the power 24 is equal to, let's calculate this using the calculator, but you can just remember 16,777,216. That is the number, but let's do the calculation just to make it sure. Calculator. How did you miss the lessons? These things, because you are good, you are answering the questions well. What has happened to the network in lesson? Why you missed the lesson?
Sir,
Why did you miss the lesson? Because you are okay, you are answering well. It seems that you have not done the lesson, right? Isn't it?
yes, sir.
Seems like it is not covered in the school, or
So I didn't able to attend the school classes, sir,
that's the reason.
on the online.
Those on 2 to the power 24. This is the number, right? 16,777,216 is the number. Okay.
Okay.
So when this task is given, you need. So I think they won't ask because this is a big number, but still you can double and move. 2 to the power 10 is 1024. 2 to the power 11 is 2048. 12 is 4096. Then 2 to the power 13 is 8192. Likewise, you have to keep calculating. Then you can find the 2 to the power 20, which is closer to 1 million. And after that, it is 2 to the power 21 is 2 million. 2 to the power 22 is 4 million. 2 to the power 23 is 8 million. 2 to the power 24 is 16 million. Roughly 16 million. But here the actual value is this, right? Okay, then actual number of hosts is this. So why there are 2 less there? Why there are 214 then? So the value comes to 60. What's the reason that? Yes, what's the
So
reason?
the 0 cannot be used.
Yes, 0 can be used, but 0 is to identify the network, right? So this
Okay.
1.0.0.0 is the first network IP, right? Because this is not a host IP, this is the network IP. Because we already studied last day, no? The 0th one is the network IP. Then, so similarly, 1 to 6, right? So again, so why there are less, that two are missing, because 126, 255, 255, 255 is a broadcast IP. Is a broadcast IP. Therefore, right, in between that, so there are valid IPs. These two you need to exclude. The network IP and the broadcast IP you need to exclude, and after that you are getting the numbers. This is actually for a network, right? Sorry, so this is mistake. This is my mistake. Sorry, my mistake. I have done some. Undo. This is one dot. Otherwise, different network. 1.255.255.255 is the, so 1.000 is the network IP, right? And this is network IP. This is broadcast IP. Understood why there are 2 IPs you have to exclude?
Yes, sir.
You have to exclude these 2 IPs. Then you have to subtract From this, you have to subtract this and this, then you will get this figure 214. Can you tell me the first valued host of the first network? First valid host of the first network? IP address of the first valid host of the first network?
So 1001.
Yes, 1001. Exactly. 1001 is the first valid IP of the first network. The last valid IP of the first network? Last valid IP of the first network? There is one less than the broadcast IP, right? 1, 255, 255, 254, right? That is one less than the broadcast IP. This is the last valid. Okay, what is the first valid IP of the last network? First valid IP of the last network? What is the last network? If you change this to 2, the next network comes. The 3 is the next network. 4 is the next network. So what is the last network?
So 25.
Oh, that is 126.
So 126.
126 is the last network, right? 255, you can't go up to 255. 126 is the last network. So the first valid IP is 126, 126, 0, 0, 1 is the first valid IP. What is the last valid IP? 126, 255, 255, but 254 is the last valid IP of the network. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Do we need to write down this, or can you remember this?
So can I note it down?
Yeah, better. So actually I have written here and there, right? You have to find, this is for the host part. This is for the host part. Let me square this. This is especially for the host part. This is for the network part. Yes, this is for the network part. How you find the valid number of networks. Okay, this is for the hosts. You have to remove the broadcast IP, and from this you need to remove the broadcast IP as well as the network IP. You have to subtract this and this from this, and that is how this figure is generated. When you subtract the 0th and 127 networks, because 0 is not valid, it's not a valid network. 127 is a valid network, but reserved for the loopback. Therefore, you have to subtract that too. That is why how 126 came. Right here, subtracting 2 will give you that. And the first valid IP and last valid IP. So please note down this also. I'm writing here. Let me erase this part. First valid IP, last valid IP. This is the last valid IP and this is the first valid IP. This is the first network, right? Of first network. This is of last network. So the first valid IP is this. The last valid IP is this. This is of the let me add squares to this also. I hope the content is clear. Sorry, I have written here and there. So that is just this thing, right? In one string. Right. This pattern continues. This pattern continues, and then you can figure out the other classes based on this pattern. So once you identify these details, so let's clear all and let's try to find out what is the next. Next is 128. that is class B. 1 to 8, you can see the similar features. 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and with this 8. The other bits, can say the next is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and next two are for the hosts. The first two are for the networks and the next two for the hosts, right? Then what is the limit? It's going up to 191. So 10. Then again you have to preserve these two. 1 bit was preserved in the previous one. Now here I'm preserving 2 bits and making all these things ones. Let's add them together. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus this is 4, 7 plus 8, 15 plus 16, 31 plus this is 30, 31 plus 63. 63, is it 63? This is plus 1, so 15, 31, yeah, 63. 63 plus 128. So let's add them. I'm not sure that I have done the correct thing. Let's add them. Yeah, it's correct. Sorry. 128 plus 63 is 191. Yes, exactly 191. And that is how the first octet is found. And you can change this up to the last valid will be 11111111. Okay, after that you can say the next are hosts. Next are for the hosts, reserved for the hosts, and this is for the network. Okay, how many networks are there? How many bits are there for the networks? So let's see. How many bits are allocated for the networks? How many bits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bits are reserved for the networks. So what is 2 to the power 15? 2 to its power 15 is this 32,000, right? 2 to the power 6, 15 or 14. Let's count it again. Sorry, these I have done wrong count it. How many bits are preserved? 2 bits are preserved. We are not going to change these 2 bits. The next set of bits are for the network. Next set are reserved for the, these 2 are preserved and these 2 are reserved for the network. So they, how many reserved bits? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Sorry, 14 are there. So we can say 2 to the power 14. 2 to the power 14 is the number. That is 16,384. Here, 16,384 valid hosts. So this time you don't want to skip the networks. You can just take this value, 16,384. For the host, you have to pay 8. How many bits? 8 here, 8 here. 16 bits are there. So it is 2 to the power 16. 2 to the power 16. 2 to the power 16 is 65,536. But you know, you have to subtract. Yes, you have to subtract how many? The first and last. 2. Yes, 2. Then it is 65,534. Now it's easy, right? That is how you count. Right? Okay. So here, number of networks. Number of networks is 2 to the power 14. 2 to the power 14. Why 14? As you can see, 2 are preserved. You can't change them. So this 14 is there to the power 14. That is equal to 16,384. Then number of hosts per network is 2 to the power 16. 2 to the power 16. 2 to the power 16. That is equal to 65,534. 65,534. Why? Because from that you have to subtract. After subtracting network IP and host IP. After subtracting the network IP and the host IP, you can get this. After subtracting the network IP and host IP, you will be able to get this too. So you can see. So then I'll keep this task to you. Find out the first valid IP and the last valid IP. And so similar to the previous one. And please do that as a homework. Then also you need to find how the class C generated. Class 4 and 5 are basically preserved. These are reserved for the multicasting and the experimental purpose. So that will not be asked, but you need to remember the ranges. How the first 2 octets allocate. Please write down same thing. So then the next three is 100, 100, 3 bits are reserved. The next is 4 bits are reserved. Next is 5 bits are reserved. So try to find out and try to figure out them. So that is, you can do that as a homework. Please write down this now.